My name is Canon Michael Branch and I've got the privilege of being the Dean of St George's Cathedral, Southwark. It's a real privilege today to be speaking about the most important person in my life. And that important person is Jesus. And for me, Jesus isn't simply a historical character. Jesus is someone who is present in the here and the now. He said that he would be with the church until the end of time. And so we know that the Lord makes himself present to us every single day in what I like to describe as being the miracle of the Mass. And for me, the Mass is everything. It's something that I do every single day. It's one of those events that I will not change. So the great miracle of the Mass, where the priest has the great privilege of standing in the person of Jesus Christ, uttering the words, "This is my body, this is my blood." We believe that truly the bread and the wine become the body, blood, soul and divinity of Christ. It's one thing having that knowledge, it's another thing also to have that core belief. Mother Teresa once said that once you understand not only what the Eucharist is, but who the Eucharist is, she said, you'll never leave the church. And she said, it's not the church who won't let you go, but it's your heart. Like any relationship, any friendship, it's so important that you spend time with that person. And so for us as Christians, for us as human beings, it's so important for us to spend time with Jesus, truly present in the Eucharist. And we call that adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. If there was one great desire that I had as a priest, and that would be for the whole world to discover that Jesus is truly present in the Most Holy Sacrament of the altar. St. John Marie Vianney said that if we really realised who was there in that small white host, he said the churches would be absolutely full. We wouldn't come into the church on our knees, but we would come on our bellies in adoration of Jesus. We know that we live in a world where there's much division, there are many questions, there's a lot of fear. Well, the one great place in order for all those questions and conundrums to be satisfied, for all that fear to melt away, is by spending time before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, in adoration. Come along, ask your priests, if you don't have adoration, to begin adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, and tell him that you don't expect him to do it all by himself, that you and others will indeed be there in the church so that the churches can be open, so that people can come to discover Jesus. Mother Teresa said that all of the world's problems, all of our problems, can be solved in that little white disc that we know as being Jesus truly present, body, blood, soul and divinity. The one place where I discovered that the Lord was first calling me to become a priest was in fact when I was an altar server in my parish, and every Sunday we had adoration of the Blessed Sacrament and benediction. And I guess it was sort of not until about a year into serving that every single week that I began to realise, I know that my catechist told me that the bread and the wine changed into the body and blood of Jesus, but it was a moment, a light bulb moment, when that knowledge kind of went into my heart to discover that in fact that this was Jesus of Nazareth. So once you discover it really is Jesus, you kind of want to spend as much time as you can. I mean, obviously we've all got busy lives, but I think that we all need to make time to be before the Eucharist in Eucharistic adoration. St. Mother Teresa, she was once posed the question, for those who don't believe in the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, or those who may have doubts as Catholics about the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, she said the one solution is to place yourself before the sacrament. And then she said, pray. And we know that praying isn't all about words. First and foremost, it's actually placing ourselves before Jesus in the Eucharist. And I guess a good starting point would be to say the words, Jesus Christ, take pity on me, help me in my unbelief. You can guarantee, if you've opened up your heart, that the Lord will in fact answer that prayer and supply you with all the graces that you need in order to begin to believe and to grow your heart into a Eucharistic heart. I think we should all recommit ourselves to making Eucharistic adoration part of our prayer life. And Eucharistic adoration isn't an optional extra, it's an absolute must. So I can't emphasize, I can't encourage you more to grow your belief in the real presence of Jesus Christ. And that will be the best way in which you can invest your time, and indeed I can guarantee that you will in fact grow in faith. And as I say, all of life's problems will eventually dissolve away, and you'll just become the person who the Lord really has called you to be. It will melt the ego, and we know what ego stands for: edging God out. And so the more time we make for Jesus, the less time we concern ourselves about ourselves, the better.